Well, we've had a lot of religion in the last few slides, and we're not going to go anywhere away from religion anytime soon, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. We're going to talk about exploration, and there's going to be consequences of what's going on in Europe when it comes to exploration of the New World. That's why we spend a lot of time in Europe, to be quite honest, is because much of what happens there affects what's going to happen here. So let's talk about some exploration, particularly the French. For the most part, the French are late in the game. They're distracted. One of the byproducts of the Protestant Reformation is that Protestantism also finds its root into France, in a group of people known as the Huguenots. And so France is going to have a series of wars between the French Catholics and the French Huguenots, or the French Protestants. And it's going to be called the French Wars of Religion. So the French are tremendously distracted from the overall game that's being played out in the high seas when it comes to exploration. And so once they do try to explore, we see their real priority. Their priority is not to create an empire like the Spanish did. Instead, they're trying to find the Northwest Passage, this mysterious and mystical Northwest Passage. It kind of tells you exactly what the priorities, not just of the French, but of the English as well, eventually, in terms of what they're trying to find. They're trying to find an all-water route through the Americas to get to the other side and go to the Asian markets. That kind of tells you their priority. They're not looking to settle down in the Americas, but nonetheless, eventually they're going to do that. For example, in 1542, let me make sure I get my date right. Yep, 1542, they're going to send an Italian sailor named Giovanni da Verrazano. And he's going to go and he's going to map the entire East Coast from the Carolinas all the way to Maine. In fact, it's Verrazano that is going to be the first person to sail into what's going to become New York City Harbor. And so we actually see a monument to Verrazano in the New York City area because we have the Verrazano Bridge that's out and off the Hudson. But between the 1530s and 1540s, we have a few other people showing up. For example, Jacques Cartier. Cartier is going to be the one that sails down what we call the St. Lawrence Seaway today. They called it the St. Lawrence River. And he sails down and looking, again, looking for this Northwest Passage, but finds areas like Newfoundland and, of course, claims modern-day Quebec for France. And he sails to the New World numerous times, at least 3 times between 1534 and 1542. And he's